Technology isn't always there, you know? Yeah, we'll never get rid of the human factor. All right, it's time to say good morning to those of you who are just joining us. Those of you who are linking up on the live. Mary E. Banks is already there. Good morning, dear Mary. How are you? Teacher Mary, the critical eye. Good morning. Yeah, how are you doing? It is a wonderful day. I had a peek on the outside. You know, the sky is bright. I don't know what the weather forecast will say for the day. But it's, no matter what the weather is like, it's still indeed a good thing to be alive. Yeah. So whatever you do today, make a positive mark, right? Remembering that whatever you're going through, this too shall pass. It has an expiry date. Yeah, it's set. Can't go on forever. So just hold on. Yeah, the battle is already won. Yep. Worrying doesn't change a thing. Pray about it. Yeah. A friend of mine said once that prayer does take too long. Well, if you feel so, who am I to doubt you? But I know that, you know, the Creator is an on-time God. Joseph Ross says, good morning, GBN and family. Blessed weekend. Ann Jackson says, morning, GBN. Morning, Ann. Nice. I just thought that I should fit your Janice Childs this morning. Oh my goodness, she's got some tracks, man. It's 25 minutes on to 7 o'clock. It's just about that time when we need to get with the program. Yeah. How are you doing? Kitty Cat, how are you doing? Good morning to you. Yeah, you up and ready? Getting ready for the JOB, alright? Alwyn, what's up, bro? Nice. Mr. Steele out there in Pomerose, former employee of Nawasa. You good? Nice. You're heading to the garden, alright? Yeah, keep fit, bro. Keep fit. Rhino and Junior and Denver and the guys, good morning. Nice. Let's get with the program. Okay. Alright, that's enough formalities. The word of the day today, it is a word that we hear all the time, right? But do you pay attention to it? Do you understand what it means? Do you know how to use it? Let's test it this morning. Good morning to you, Mr. Clyde Belfon. Haven't heard from you in a while, okay? You need to touch base, man. The word of the day today is the word facilitate. 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 And to facilitate something is to help bring it about. As in, her rise to power was facilitated by her influential friends. In other words, facilitating something eases the way for it to happen smoothly and effectively. Again, the word of the day, facilitate. It is a verb. It is an action word. It's a doing word. And to facilitate something is to help bring it about, as in her rise to power was facilitated by her influential friends. Yeah, her friends facilitated her rise to power. Okay, and here's how we can use the word in a sentence. The moderator's role is to facilitate the discussion by asking appropriate questions. Yeah? That's it. Let's now look at the thought of the day. The thought of the day today, good morning, Nadisha. Yeah, and the folks inside of Cafe. Yeah, good morning. The thought of the day is, the soul which has no fixed purpose in life is lost. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. I like this. The soul which has no fixed purpose in life is lost. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. Stay focused. Work with the plan. Get with the program. Stop dabbling at everything. Make a choice, prioritize, and work assiduously to achieving that goal. Good morning to you, Louis and Morris and the home circle. You think it's easy to take it easy? Nice. Hope you all are doing fine. Yeah, enjoying life in God's good green earth. Yep. What's buzzing this morning? Of course, Maggie King of the Grill takes precedence. It's less than a month away. It's on the 29th of July at the Monrouge playing field. Starts from 12 noon, and it will be a day loaded with fun, good food, and great entertainment and excitement. Nice. So prepare yourself. Blossom would say preparate yourself for that, all right? Good morning, Blossy and family. Good. Saying good morning to Mr. Cecil Noel and the folks at the Spice Mass Corporation. Yeah, folks, have you acquainted yourself yet with the calendar of events from the Spice Mass Corporation for 2023? If not, well, it's about the right time to do so, yeah? Good. Also buzzing this morning, Republic Bank workers downed tools on Thursday as an industrial dispute between the Bank and General Workers Union and the RBL escalated. Around this month-end time, boy, wow, this is not a good time, but then again, you gotta strike it when it's hot. Strike it where it hurts. At month-end, everybody is lined up in the bank, so, okay. I do hope that you all come to some amicable solution to that impasse, all right? In the interest of the public. All right, also buzzing, representatives from the 9-member OECS grouping on Thursday convened the Food and Agriculture System Transformation Consultation Workshop at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort ahead of the Council of Ministers meeting on Friday. Agriculture again in the focus. I do hope it remains. Yeah, and you know, let's not hear too much words. Let's see, and we're seeing things. Let's keep it flowing, okay? Also buzzing this morning, outspoken attorney at law Anselm Clouden is putting forward a case against pre-trial incarceration. He believes this is an area that needs serious attention as it denies the liberty of inmates who are awaiting trial in the High Court. Okay, let's see how this one goes. We heard of that ruling in the U.S. That is creating quite a lot of stir. So maybe this is just the judicial time, yeah, for judicial reform. The lawyers are still within Law Week. Good morning, bro. Derek Sylvester, Francis K. Paul, and all the attorneys around. Jerry Edwin, good morning, my counsel. How are you? Hope you are doing well, you and the family and the staff. Okay. Now, as the carnival season intensifies, the RGPF is urging promoters and event planners to obtain the required permits for the use of amplified sound. A breach of this could result in criminal prosecution and the event being shut down. So we don't want that to happen, all right? So Barbara and the folks at Sugar Hole, I hope you have this thing lined up right, eh? Yeah, the folks at Right Choice Sports Bar too. Make sure all you have that line up. So when all you have all your activities, the police don't come and say, let me see your document. And if you cannot provide it or produce it, then you get shut down. And you also risk the possibility of being prosecuted in the court of law. All right? Now we also hear that the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization is lending its support to the Ministry of Agriculture to develop strategies that will guide the CMOS industry. That sounds well. Yeah, that sounds well. Good morning to you, Willen, and all the CMOS producers. My dear friend at Franco's Kitchen, I am coming for my special bottle of CMOS today, all right? Yeah. Nice. Okay, finally, capacity development and employee well-being have been identified by the ruling NDC administration as key areas of focus to realizing its commitment to the nation. In his remarks on the occasion of the International Public Service Day that was celebrated on June 23rd, Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell reaffirmed the government's commitment to developing a sustainable, equitable, and prosperous Grenada. So those are the buzzing stories this morning, and we have no in-house guest, so it means that we have the full time to have a conversation, and we look forward to meaningful, brief engagements. All right, and what we want to talk about this morning, really, well, we have a number of things. The Republic Bank workers down in Tools, the grouping for OECS countries with the Food and Agriculture System and Transformation Consultation Workshop at Radisson. The focus is there on agriculture. I'd like to see a lot more emphasis on value-added products, adding value to our products, not just the raw material, but adding value to it. I've just been hinted that we have guests. Yeah, so that's the way it is. I'd like to remind you or inform you that come Monday, should the good Lord spare our lives, we'll be having the Honorable Roderick St. Clair, the Senator with responsibility for the farmers in the Senate. So we look forward to that engagement. So, folks, this is where we take the break. We've got the AM edition of News, Sports and Weather forthcoming here on the Classic. And those of you on the television platform, we've got a rebroadcast of last evening's television news. Josephine Toussaint says, good morning, GBN and all my Grenadians. Paula Paul, good morning, Mr. Innocent and my Grenada people. Paula Paul says, Mildred Smith, wake up, sis. Okay. All right, so you turn an alarm clock this morning. That's fine. Folks, I'll see you on the flip side of the news.
Freedom is driven to pursue that passion that keeps you up at night and makes you smile in your sleep. Freedom is bold to embrace the possibilities that can open up your world and conquer new heights. Freedom is fabulous, with bits and pieces that enhance the quality of your life. Freedom is what you do with the flexibility to change path or direction when you need to. Freedom breeds ambition and purpose while having loads of fun along the way. But most of all, freedom is well-deserved for the road traveled and the journey still to come. Unleash your freedom with Nexa Credit Union. Offer ends August 31st, 2023. Call us on 440-1354 or visit our website to pre-apply. Apply now. Freedom awaits.
Good evening, I'm Ken Roy Batiste. Workers of Republic Bank down tools on Thursday as an industrial dispute between the Bank and General Workers Union and RBL escalates. Here's the report.
On Thursday, some permanent employees at various Republic Bank branches simultaneously downed tools over what they say are efforts to secure a collective agreement between the bank and the union. President General of the representing union, the Bank and General Workers Union, Joseph Mitchell, said the action is a result of the management of the bank's unwillingness to conclude negotiations for a new collective agreement for the period January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2022.
Since April last year, April 2022, both the bank and the union has been engaged in negotiations to find a collective agreement for the period 2020 to 2022. Up until now, we have had 15 rounds of negotiations with no real settlement. We have had 10 rounds at the bilateral level. We have had some articles that were agreed to there. We had 2 sessions with the Labour Commissioner, that's conciliatory, and we have had mediation with the Minister, 3 rounds there. Our last round of negotiation ended on March the 13th, 2023.
Following several rounds of negotiations, a number of articles were settled at the bilateral level. However, there were 3 articles parties were unable to resolve, including salary increases for the period 2020 to 2022. issue. President General said the Labour Minister has since intervened after many attempts. Efforts to reach an amicable resolution with the bank's management have not materialized.
The Minister have actually given her position on the matter as it relates to the remaining articles that had to be settled. We have indicated to the bank that we have accepted the Minister's recommendation. But between March and now, we have heard nothing really from the bank. I've called the human resource manager myself personally and asked her that we try to resolve issues.
President General Mitchell said his main concern at this time is the workers and customers who are affected. The onus now rests with the bank.
Well, at the end of the day, what you want is a resolution to the problem, right? I don't think anybody have any interest in standing out in the hot sun. At the end of the day, you want parties to come to the table and to resolve those issues that are at hand. I think 10 or more of them has already been agreed to, right? There was just, to me, a hesitancy on the bank. I don't know if it has to do with the salaries or so, but they haven't. The thing about it, what I'm saying is that even if you have a problem, what you can do is to write and say, listen, this is my problem. But to adopt an attitude of total silence, ignoring these workers who continue to toil.
The workers' last salary increase, he said, was January 1st, 2019. Christina John, GBN News.
Well, in response to the action taken by employees, the Republic Group issued a statement which reads as follows. The Republic Group has always recognized our employees' right to freedom of association and the right to be organized and bargained collectively through the unions which represent them, as defined by the International Labour Organization's Conventions 87 and 98. Republic Bank, Grenada Limited, and the Bank and General Workers Union have been engaged in mediation talks before the Honourable Minister for Labour since January 2023 over a breakdown in negotiations for a new collective agreement for the period commencing January 1, 2020. During the course of such mediation proceedings, the Honourable Minister for Labour on March 13, 2023, verbally recommended for the consideration of the bank and the union a salary increase of 12.25% over the 4-year period, January 1, 2020 to December 31, 2023. On June 29, 2023, the bank received notice from the union of the commencement of strike action by our unionized staff. Parties were yet to receive the Honourable Minister's written recommendation that would have afforded the bank an opportunity to conduct a comprehensive analysis of same. It is unfortunate that industrial action has been pursued prior to the formal conclusion of mediation proceedings by the Honourable Minister for Labour. The Labour Commissioner has since engaged the bank and the union in separate talks with a view to resolving certain matters pertaining to these negotiations within the shortest possible time. Republic Bank Grenada Limited remains committed to reaching a timely and satisfactory resolution of this matter. We will update our customers and the general public as more information becomes available via our website, republicgrenada.com. Now, representatives from the 9-member OECS grouping on Thursday convened the Food and Agriculture System Transformation Consultation Workshop at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort ahead of the Council of Ministers meeting on Friday. More details in this report.
The Food and Agricultural System Transformation Consultation Workshop has been labeled as a critical step in the first strategy roadmap for transforming the sub-region's food and agriculture system. Agronomist in the Ministry of Agriculture, Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives, Alison Haynes, in her remarks says it's ambitious but necessary.
We wish to commend the endeavors being made by the OECS Commission to collaborate with member states and development partners to select a list of priority actions that ministers can discuss, consider, and validate at their meeting tomorrow. I must say that I am very pleased with the team chosen for this meeting, improving the sustainability and resilience of agriculture in the OECS, as it captures the essence of our collective mission.
Ms. Haynes called on the technocrats to deliberate in a manner which ensures that the region's agricultural systems are sustainable and resilient.
Climate change, limited land resources, water scarcity, and the need to reduce our food import bills are just a few of the pressing issues that we must confront. The time for action is now, and this workshop provides us with a platform to collectively prioritize actions to address these challenges. Sustainability and resilience must be the guiding principles that inform our agricultural development efforts. We must adopt practices that safeguard our natural resources, that protects the environment, and ensure the long-term viability of the sector.
The ministry's representation highlighted the importance of improving strategies while keeping the well-being of farmers and the rural community to the forefront.
We must empower our farmers with the necessary skills, knowledge, and resources to strive in a rapidly changing agricultural landscape. This includes investment in agricultural education and training, providing access to finance and markets, and supporting the adoption of modern technologies and best practices. Colleagues, we must also give focus, inclusivity, and gender equality in our efforts to transform the agricultural sector in the sub-region.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, and the Blue and Green Economy, Reginald Sovereign, is the chairman of the technical session. He said to facilitate convergence and agreement on the priority action over the next 3 to 5 years, appropriate decisions must be taken on a regional level. He said, joint action makes sense, and there is an added value to working together. Mr. Sovereign highlighted the achievements made among the member states and the strong bond in advancing their cause through the support of AICA and the FAO. Christelina John, GBN News.
All right. Attorney at Law Anselm Clouden is putting forward a case against pre-trial incarceration. He believes this is an area that needs serious attention as it denies the liberty of inmates who are awaiting trial in the High Court. Nisha Paul reports.
Pre-trial detention, also known as remand or preventative detention, is when someone is detained by the state while they are waiting for a trial. A trial is a process where the facts of a case are presented to a jury and they decide if the defendant is guilty or not guilty of the charge offered. Attorney Anselm Clouden has raised concern, noting that pre-trial incarceration restricts the right of the presumption of innocence and the right to liberty.
Pre-trial incarceration is an interest that the court ought to look at seriously. You have prisoners and they need a voice. They have matters that ought to be heard. A jury may find them innocent. They may find them guilty. But you can't keep them in custody.
Clouden says there is need for more criminal judges to address the significant backlog of criminal matters in the High Court.
We have more and more of a backlog, and justice requires the presumption of innocence that works until trial. But it's like hell to get to trial. This is why we need more criminal courts to address this issue of delay, which ultimately denies the accused of his protected constitutional right to a trial within a reasonable time.
The purposes of pre-trial detention are to secure the appearance at trial of defendants who are flight risk and to protect the community from further criminal activity of the person charged. Meanwhile, Attorney Ruggles Ferguson, who spoke with GBN on the issue, explains that the court has discretion.
Once the court is satisfied that the person will turn up for his or her trial and not interfere with witnesses, not provoke the court of justice, not commit any crimes while pending trial, then you qualify to go on bail. The other aspect of it is that even though someone is not granted bail, Section 8 of the Constitution mandates that any person charged with a criminal offense must receive a fair trial within a reasonable time by a competent and impartial court.
Attorney Ferguson, who agrees that the backlog of cases is a main contributing factor to delays in court matters, further explains what can happen if an accused person sits on remand for an extended period of time.
Depending on the circumstances of that remand being extended for a lengthy period, it amounts to a breach of his or her constitutional rights. And in those circumstances, depending on the length of a delay, certain applications may be made to the court for either one, a permanent stay of proceedings based on the nature of the delay and the prejudice that the delay may cause, or a court may declare that yes, there was a breach of constitutional rights, and the court may, in the event that the person is found guilty, factor in a reduction in the sentence proportionate with the breach of constitutional rights.
Although the court can use its discretion, the law does not stipulate what a reasonable time frame for matters to come before it. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
Network News, welcome back. Flu vaccines are being made available by the Ministry of Health to members of the public free of cost. This is what we can tell you. In a press release issued today, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs reminds the public of the influenza flu season, adding that vaccines are available at all health centers and medical stations throughout the state. Influenza, commonly referred to as the flu, is an acute viral infection that spreads easily among individuals through coughing, sneezing, and close contact, or by touching contaminated surfaces. Now, the flu can present severe symptoms in children, including diarrhea and seizures, and should also be taken seriously by adults as it can lead to pneumonia and blood infection. More common symptoms can include fever, chills, sore throat, muscle aches, fatigue, cough, headache, and runny or stuffy nose. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles warns that the flu can further complicate existing chronic medical conditions in an individual. Health officials are advising people who suspect that they may have the flu to get adequate rest, avoid close contact with other individuals, and avoid touching their eyes, nose, and mouth. As the carnival season intensifies, the RGPF is urging promoters and event planners to obtain the required permit for the use of amplified sound. A breach of this could result in the event being shut down. Nisha Paul has this report.
As Spice Mass 2023 draws near, people are being cautioned against the use of loudspeakers, musical instruments, or amplified musical instruments in public places without the proper permits. ASP Simon Douglas and Corporal Sherwin Noel were guests on GBN's To The Point program and took the opportunity to highlight the importance of the Noise Control Act. The RGPF Communications Relations Head, ASP Douglas, says noise can be disturbing and annoying, and also a health concern for some citizens. He noted that noise in Grenada is controlled by the Noise Control Act and calls on the public to be more considerate.
We want to start off by making a special appeal to the public, everyone, to be considerate, right? Consider the old person or the aged person in your community, or it may not be your community. Persons driving vehicles, you may be driving through a community late at night, and you have to be considerate enough to turn down your music if it was loud, and things of that sort. And we really want persons to cooperate in that regard.
The ASP stated that an application must be submitted by an individual or group to play amplified music.
An application, according to the law, an application for a noise permit must be made at least 10 days before the intended day of the event or activity. All right? And I also want to make it clear to the public that should your application get to the police later than 10 days before the intended day of your event or activity, your application may not be considered. All right, we want to make that clear. It is not a case of the police not wanting to give people permission, or the police wanting to interrupt or interfere with people having fun, or people making a dollar, as we say it. But we must consider the fact that numerous persons would send in applications. Yes. And if you do not give us enough time to process those applications, then we would have a problem.
Corporal Noel outlined the measures that are needed for people to play amplified music.
There are only two types of permits that are issued in relation to, what we say noise or excessive noise. If excessive noise is to be made, and they fall under two categories: construction work. The other type of permit that is issued is in relation to loudspeakers and musical instruments.
All right.
So someone intending to have a party, a dance, or maybe a queen show, they intend to use loudspeaker or amplified sounds, need to apply to the Commissioner of Police for permission to use that equipment or that musical instrument.
Right. Any person who operates a loudspeaker or musical instrument in breach of the conditions or restrictions attached to a permission granted by the Commissioner of Police commits an offense and is subject to criminal prosecution. For a first offense, a fine of $250, a second offense, a fine not exceeding $500, or imprisonment for 6 months, or both. For a third offense, a fine not exceeding $1,000, or imprisonment for 9 months, or both. And a fourth offense, imprisonment for 12 months. The RGPF is encouraging members of the public to comply with the law and request permission to play amplified sounds within a reasonable time for their activities. As the build-up to Carnival continues, it is expected that scores of people will be applying to the RGPF for permission to play amplified music. For GBN News, I'm Nisha Paul.
The story to report: the new National Party is calling for an update to the revamping of what was the Marketing and National Importing Board. Party representative Roland Bowler says since some operations were reportedly closed at the end of February, no further update has been given about the decision to restart the entity as a public-private partnership.
And we're not hearing who is doing it. Where's the planning taking place? What was the last conclusion you came to from since the marketing board was closed? I have not heard anything official from the powers to be as to what they're doing, where they're going, how far have we reached with the planning, when can we see a reopening of, if you don't want to call it marketing board, whatever name you're giving it, where the farmers can rest assured that now I have an outlet for my products.
The NMP's General Secretary says while he agrees that the MNIB needed restructuring, another route should have been taken rather than shutting down the board's operations.
organized, and I didn't think it was absolutely necessary to close it down to restructure it. The restructuring could have taken place, and so doing you would have been able to save jobs of the people who are employed and probably increase jobs down the line. But once you close down, it means that these people had to be paid off or whatever and go home. So I am not particularly happy with the way in which it had happened, but I do know and understand that the marketing board needed some restructuring.
All right, so in February of this year, government decided to dissolve the operations of MNIB and restart the entity as a public-private partnership following extensive consultations with stakeholders on the most effective way possible. Last Friday, GBN reported Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell saying the move to revamp the MNIB faced a setback as the committee mandated with the task lost one of its members, former chair George Harford. Reading improves brain function. Reading reduces stress. Reading can improve one's state of mind. Reading improves overall wellness. And reading aloud to children has a lasting impact. The South St. George Government School is at the end of the GBN ISOL lens as it celebrates Literacy Week.
Tonight's ISOL highlights Literacy Week at the South St. George Government School. This week's celebration is under the theme, Dive into Literacy, Splash into New Worlds. On Monday, the activities opened with an assembly dubbed Dive into Reading, featuring invited guests. On Tuesday, the sub-theme was, Be Well Read, Wear Red. The students wore red t-shirts, ribbons, and belts. On Wednesday, the children wore funky hats with vocabulary words to fit the theme, Hats Off to Reading. Today, they wore funky socks because reading rocks. And tomorrow, the students are asked to wear sunglasses to school for Reading Makes You Bright. Parents and children are invited to return to the school for an evening exhibition. We thank our ISOL reporter for those wonderful photos. Our ISOL line is open for your submissions via WhatsApp at 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
We, the Churches of Christ Grenada, invite you to the Isle of Spice, July 9th to 12th, 2023, for the annual Caribbean Lectureship Jubilee event. It promises to be grand. Grenada is home to over 40 beaches, sweet spices, not forgetting the oil down. The best part is the singing, praising, and preaching of God's word by the brethren to the Governor of the universe. We look forward to fellowshipping with families and friends at the Radisson Beach Resort Convention Center, Grenada. The Churches of Christ Grenada invites you to this auspicious event. Don't you miss it.
This woman a friend not demon, down in the grave already. I come to sing in rebellion, they're down in the grave already. Well, in case all you know, I'm Mr. Shack from Trinbago. And on July 8th in Grenada Trade Center, I come in and tell you that Saturday night is a Kaiso fight between me and Stunner. But I got deal with him, send him out the ring crying to his daddy's scholar. Cause boy, Saturday 8th of July, boy. Well, you know it, no light, boy. I come in with my Kaiso, boy. Grenada, Saturday 8th of July, 7:30 p.m. Hubbard's Legends in Concert. First time after 3 years. Back with the big clash. Trinbago versus Grenada. Come out, let me celebrate Kaiso together. Wow!
Grill Master. Now available. Grill Master Takeaway. Healthy choices of dinner is available every day from 5 p.m. A solution to end your day with healthy, hot meals. Are you tired of fried, greasy foods, junk food, high-calorie food before bed, leading to a bad night and sleep? Grill Master brings the solution for you by offering customized, hot, fresh, healthy grilled food sustainable for after workout, your keto diet, and those who love greens. Let your last last meal be your next day fresh start. Grillmaster is second to none. Advance your order for pickup or delivery at 439-3737 or our WhatsApp number at 1-473-423-3737. Grillmaster, second to none.
Chaos and LED. Get on us, Lord. Grenada had the best man's by far. Grenada had the best job in the whole wide world. Grenada had the best man's by far. Grenada had the best job in the whole wide world. Watch mass and watch Bacchanal, Soca Grand International. That's going around the globe, Soca not just for carnival. Watch mass and watch Bacchanal, Soca Grand International. That's going around the globe.
GRENDEC Community Partnership Initiative.
The project for our school is the expansion of the school feeding department and home economics department. At our school, we provide hot meals for more than 70% of our student population on a daily basis. Our previous kitchen area has been very small, and sometimes it became congested with teachers volunteering to ensure that the children got their lunch on time. The home economics department is a center for some of the other schools in the district, and they visit us once a week. What we found that based on the class size of the visiting schools, we were unable to accommodate them. We converted our practical area into a classroom, and as such we were no longer able to do the practicals as much as we would like to. Therefore, when the opportunity came up to participate in this GRENDEC project, we thought, yes, this is the best opportunity to gain some assistance, and it could not have come at a better time for us as a school when we are in the process of rebuilding, rebranding ourselves in the community. And so on behalf of the staff, the students, the PTA, and the community of Rivers Valley, we would like to say a heartfelt thank you to GRENDEC for partnering with us in ensuring that we improve the quality of education that we provide here at Rivers Valley Government School.
GRENDEC, energizing our community.
All right, welcome viewers and listeners. It's time for the conversation this morning, and I mistakenly told you that we have the entire hour or so for the conversation, but we have the conversation, but we do have some guests this morning, representatives from the St. David's Catholic Secondary School, and one of the guests is on the way. So what we are going to do, we are going to open the lines for the initial part of the program, and when that guest arrives, we are going to take that break and get them on the set. So in the meantime, what I'd like for you to do is to call me and tell me anything that you think, what was buzzing this morning. Well, of course, the Republic Bank workers down in the tools yesterday in an industrial dispute that got out of hand between the Bank and General Workers Union and the Republic Bank Limited. Also, we hear that the representatives from the 9-member OECS grouping on Thursday convened the Food and Agriculture System Transformation Consultation Workshop at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort, and that is ahead of the Council of Ministers meeting, which will be held on Friday. So we have a window that we can talk about. Let's take this call. Good morning, caller. Good morning. Caller, good morning.
Hello.
435-2041, that is the number to call. It's 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. It's Friday, the final day of the month of June, the 30th of June. So give me a call, 435-2041. Back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Good morning, welcome.
Yeah, my good friend. Now, I wish to say that with my little experience or little skill or whatever I have noticed that many radio stations or people who are giving news are making a lot of grammatical errors. especially when they report in the manner in which they are reporting the news. To me, news should be reported in the past tense. Yes, maybe if you want to make it alive, maybe you could report it in the present tense. I've heard recently that I wouldn't call because maybe you could be involved. So I don't want people to say that you cannot read news. But recently, let's say the Prime Minister has to go somewhere. They're saying when and this and that, and yet he hasn't gone as yet. I'm not talking about this particular thing where he's supposed to go for a number of days. We have to be more careful because, look as if I'm talking about an announcer. When we're reporting, because we are teachers, in the strictest sense of the word teaching, we are setting example. And that's what I find so strange about us. We have to be very, very careful, especially the people who are on the media. And we having so many stations building up all about the country, but the people are not, what should I say, well trained so that they should give out information and make it real and for people to understand.
All right. So
thank you very much.
Hold on, look, don't run off yet.
Hold on.
Yes.
I'm in agreement with Mr. Rulu because I wanted to say that you and others would say this man will be bright.
Well,
hold on. Sometime yesterday, I heard people talking, and even before yesterday, that things should happen in reasonable time. Or reasonable punishment could be given. For example, two policemen were talking yesterday about noise. So they say the noise is reasonable. So I cannot understand when you have things to measure the noise. So what kind of people we have in Grenada? We have square peg in wrong hole. Go ahead now.
Let me ask you this.
I hope I could answer your question.
Whereas I do appreciate the fact that media practitioners have to be at their best game at all time because you're in the eyes and the ears of the world, but that does not mean that we are not susceptible to make errors here and there. We're not perfect beings. So we don't expect us to always get it right. There will be some slips here and there. What we have to do.
Do you all have proofreaders?
Hold on, let me tell you something. When you were talking, I listened. Now I'm talking, listen, okay? All right? No, because I take this seriously. Because you see, yes, we are expected to be at our A game, but we're also humans. All right? So every now and then, you expect us to slip a bit, all right? We are expected to be at our best, but no one is perfect, all right? So don't expect perfection. We aim for the best, but we don't expect perfection from media practitioners, all right?
But you have to be at your best.
That's what I'm saying, but being at your best does not mean that you cannot make a mistake still. All right? So thank you for your contribution.
But it's just a little warning I give you.
Well, thanks for the warning, but also put that in your smoke and pipe it. We're susceptible to mistakes as well, all right?
I too.
Oh, good. All right. Have a good one. 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, 435-2041. That is the number. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Innocent, and morning to listeners and your viewers. I wouldn't want to continue on the conversation that I just transpired, but I think what is obvious is that people who are entrusted to present news, they don't rehearse. A little rehearsal would do good so that it would minimize whatever mistakes, notwithstanding all that he said. Now, my substantive, and of course, he endorsed the contribution of the Rolo yesterday on the issue of reasonableness, which has been an issue with the Noise Prevention Act since it came into being. That was one of the reason why the act has not been fully able to be applied, because that's part of ambiguity, the ambiguous part of it, of being reasonable. Nonetheless, my main contribution had to do with Haiti. Haiti is very dear to me. In fact, for some people, Jerusalem is dear to them. Haiti is dear to me. Anyway, but the United Nations have asked that people don't forget the children of Haiti because of the continuing situation there. It says that over 60% of Port-au-Prince is controlled by gangs, which might be even more, based on my connection with Haiti at the moment. I'm not too sure, I'm not satisfied that we in the Caribbean, including our leaders, are serious enough in bringing a resolution or helping to alleviate the situation in Haiti, because they follow their masters from up north, who are the instigator of what is happening in Haiti, so that they can rob Haiti of its wealth and keep it presented as a poor country in dire need of support and all that thing. I think as we approach the 50th anniversary of CARICOM, and Haiti having joined CARICOM, we should really ask ourselves, what is our relation to Haiti, and are we treating Haiti as equals? Look what is happening in the United States with our African and other minority brothers and sisters who have suffered a setback with that ruling on the education process, entry into university. People of color, people in the global south have been marginalized in various ways that we don't have. There's a veil over our eyes that don't allow us to see what is happening. In fact, there are those who talk about the conspiracy theory of an attempt to reduce the population and all that kind of stuff. But I think in addition to that, the rolling back of any freedom or any kind of peace that people of color or the global south knew for some time is being taken away gradually by economic imperialism and all the cultural penetration. So we need to really get back to our senses and ask ourselves, are we contributing to the continuing dehumanization of people who are connected to us? Or are we doing something by raising our awareness to understand and see through the workings of those systems that are continuing to dehumanize our people? Okay. I feel very hurt of how our approach to Haiti. We discriminate against them, we deport them, we see them as subhuman, as evil, as devil. But the Haitian people are my heroes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. 435-2041, that is the number to call. Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning.
Good morning, Gordon, and hope it's a great one for you today.
Tony, how are you?
Well, very interesting and interested to have heard the contribution of the first caller. And I think maybe something in your blood told you you'll be hearing from me,
I sort of figured that out, but I thought it would have been direct.
Well, kind of thing. But
yes.
I'd say there are points on either side, his and yours. And this whole aspect of training, he is oh so right, as you and I know, Gordon. But we in the media just have to work with what we're provided with. That word that you gave for today, facilitate.
Yep.
Broadcasting needs to be better facilitated. A lot of the emphasis in training for broadcasting is focused on news, not necessarily presentation, again, as we both know. I did one for people like my friend Ashley Hines and former colleague. I would not have a career in media today.
Right.
He gave me what I had, and he kept me from drowning in the beginning. I didn't even apply to be a broadcaster. A lot of people don't know that. When I first applied to Radio Grenada, I applied to be a desk editor. I was put in place of Harold Tyson, who was going on study leave. I was told, forget the desk editing, you're replacing Harold. Wham! That was the situation. Wonderful that back in those days, you still had the whole concept of training. When talent was spotted in me by the late Bernard Graham, may he rest in peace, and he said, Tony, I think you have what it takes to read news. I tried to shove him off as much as I possibly could, but then the training began there again with Heinzo and with Bernard, and it took 5 months. But I was in active broadcasting for 7 years before I got a 2-week course in Karamak in Jamaica. Now, it transformed all the more my reading and what people have, so kindly complimented me on and supported me and everything. But then, later on in 2015, may she rest in peace, Mrs. Campbell, she just insisted, I'm going to be anchoring. And that was my first question to her on TV. I said, but what about training, Mrs. Campbell? And her response, you learn as you go along. Well, I mean, come on. And I'm just saying all of this to say, yes, your first caller has a truly valid point. But when you get into the media and so, if certain things aren't there, you just got to work with what you have been provided.
Just have to be, as I said, on our A game.
Kind of thing, And, sink or swim. Like I say, if it weren't for those very kind colleagues, and if it weren't for very supportive viewers and listeners alike, I wouldn't still be surviving in this thing. Okay. So it's on both ends. Sometimes you want a refresher as an experienced broadcaster. Sometimes you just feel a bit stale,
Sometimes you want a week on the beach.
Well, for all all of that would work. So I just thought I'd make that contribution. I'm thanking the first caller there, but there again, using his contribution to make an appeal to media in general, or those in authority,
but
that something can be done for us.
Yeah, but he's a miserable old man. He's my good friend.
Well, hey, but sometimes it's those who make the most valid contributions.
Yes. No, but notwithstanding the fact that what he said is correct. I mean, I get that ever so often. Citizen Rolo ever so often call me when I mispronounce. Another good friend of mine would call me, and some folks would feel offended for me. But I always say what it does is that it makes me one step closer to perfection. So I just need to up the game, and I'm going to do my best, but I can't do more than my best.
And another thing, we media workers, each of us broadcasters, we have to be our own worst critic, so to speak.
Right, nice.
People always think I'm being hard on myself when I looking at every detail and looking to see what I could have done better in a certain newscast. And it's not trying to draw myself down. No. It's trying to,
critiquing,
delivering as best as I possibly can.
Good.
But anyway, thanks to him. Thanks
Thank you, Tony.
To you, people like you who keep pressing on.
Tony, where the lamb is this weekend? Where can we hang? Right?
Time will reveal.
Get 2 phone numbers and let's call some people and let's go have a drink, man.
No, after all, media workers alike, indeed.
Have a good one, Ton.
Blessings.
Always refreshing to hear you, man. Have a good one. Blessings. Speaking there with my good friend, Tony Tonton Julian. Someone says today I want to speak about the disrespect of the leadership coming from some senior citizens of the country and now benefiting from taxpayers' monies. I identify 4 callers on different media outlets. Any case. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Innocent.
Hi, welcome to the program.
Yeah. Over the years, right, just traveling through the country as a road user, whenever they're having carnival roadside activities, I would like to know if the police have anything in place for people who are just going about their own business and not part of those carnival-like activity and are being stopped in the road. The masqueraders prefer to block the road and pull on your vehicle. And, if the police are prepared to ask those people to, like the people who hosting those events.
Are you talking about the carnival day itself or pre-carnival events?
No. Pre-carnival activities, right? Okay. This thing has happened to me several times. Whereby I'm just going home, and those people who having the DJ thing by the side of the road, the people who the patrons then, right, the street jams and so on.
Okay.
They will just choose to block the road and not let you pass. I remember the last occasion, what happened to me. I saw the people getting on with their foolishness and so on, and I decided to drive extremely slow. I took off my headlight and I put it on the back light, and I'm going through slow. And they came from behind and just pung up on the vehicle and damaged it.
Right. Okay. All right. Well,
it had a year coming through Willis area. Those guys mash up my number plate by the Monday morning. The police met me on the road and he charged me for the broken number plate. There was a time I got the same thing in Tempe. I got the same thing on different roads.
Yeah. Okay.
And and I think the police also need to look into the safety of the normal citizens who are using the road.
What I do know from personal experience and so forth is usually when you're having an outdoor activity that will interfere with vehicular traffic, there's usually part of the application process where you need to make a requisition for police officers present. All right, and these police officers are supposed to assist and aid in the traffic flow and keeping law and order. Now, sometimes, as usual, everybody tries to circumvent the law and so forth, and sometimes it's not really executed as it should. But that in itself should not be the case. So I hope that the RGPF they're listening at this time, and maybe they can up their game.
Because what happened to me last year, I was told that when the incident happened to me, it was okay. The police had a cut-off time to leave. Right? So after the police left the cutoff time, the people just gone wild in the road.
And that shouldn't be.
And,
that shouldn't be. Okay, so I hope the police are listening. All right?
So I am hoping that, even if the police cannot provide the security, but the people who host in those activities, right? If the police could insist for they hire the private security.
Right, yeah.
To keep law and order.
Well, the thing about
the police could be there, but I think those people who host those activities should also have a private security to ensure law and order. And also, I think the people who host those activities should also be held accountable.
Okay.
For for instance, any altercation, any damage to people's private property, the host of those events should be held accountable.
Okay. All right. Well, I take into consideration the concerns, and I know the police would be listening, and they'll look into it as well. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one. It's 24 minutes on to 8 o'clock. Let's take a commercial break. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
Our team proudly works to support the evolving needs of Grenadians. We have made some changes to our operations and want to keep you informed. Firstly, we are happy to introduce the new unemployment benefit. This benefit will provide an insured person with 50% of his or her former income in the case of sudden unemployment. To support this benefit and other benefits we offer, it was necessary to increase the contribution rate. The contribution rate will increase gradually each year until it reaches 16% in 2031. As always, the contribution will be split between you and your employer. The pensionable age will also increase from 60 to 65 years. This increase will also be gradually reaching age 65 in 2029. Pensioners will continue to be eligible for a pension from age 60, but will receive a reduced payment. The NIS recognizes that the prices of basic customer goods are increasing globally. Therefore, we are happy to also increase the weekly minimum pension payment by 25%. Finally, we have adjusted our survivor's benefit payment to a percentage of the age pension minimum. Widows, widowers, and dependent parents will receive 100% or $58 weekly, while children will receive 50% or $29 weekly of the deceased's pension. We are here to make the transition to these new changes as clear and simple as possible. If you have any questions on how these changes impact you and your family, please contact our new informational hotline at 440-6647 or visit www.nisgrenada.org. Thank you for allowing us to be your social security provider. Important announcement for CIBC First Caribbean customers. Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited invites prospective customers to collect their debit and credit cards, checkbooks, night depository keys and bags, and deposit books at its distribution center located at the GV Steel Conference Room, number 14 Church Street, St. George's. The center will be open from June 19th to July 8th, 2023, operating from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Mondays to Fridays, and from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays. You will be required to present a valid photo ID for collection. To avoid any delay in your service, we encourage you to visit Co-op Bank's distribution center at your earliest convenience between June 19th and July 8th, 2023. We look forward to welcoming you home.
Welcome home.
Coming up, visitors just keep flowing into Jamaica. We'll tell you why. There's hope for pancreatic cancer patients, thanks to top medical experts with assistance from the corporate world. The Commonwealth Youth Games are on the horizon, and the Caribbean's top junior athletes are already in fine form. One of the best getaway resorts, a serving of nature's gifts. It's all coming up on this station.
You mentioned the wing high, then you have things like man, you must come back, you know. We have the low power that.
It is kind of like the same man, and it's just different name for the same kind of thing.
And last but not least, I just want to say to all the men who saw me, call me, and ask for a piece of cake. I'm baking this weekend.
Join us Fridays at 8 on GBN Television, K105 FM, GBN's Facebook page, and the YouTube channel for We Culture.
So it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi,
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wire and accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada and St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome back, viewers and listeners, and the conversation, as I hinted to you this morning, well, teacher Edison teacher Eddie Francis is here together with Miss Anna Abraham, and they're representing the St. David Catholic Secondary School. This is a sort of post-dated celebration because that celebration should have been 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
But Mr. COVID crept in and changed all plans. So they're here to talk about the 50th/53rd anniversary of the St. David's Catholic Secondary School. Good morning, lady. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Morning to the listening and viewing public.
Right, good.
To listening and viewing public.
St. David Catholic Secondary School, 50/53 years. It's the 53rd year, but we're looking at from the 50th celebration that was planned. What was up with it?
Yeah, well, actually, in the 50th anniversary, on the 50th anniversary, you know, that was during COVID. What we actually did was we had a virtual celebration.
Okay.
Right, so we were online, hundreds of past students and past principals, and we had that celebration online, you know, but after a while, the committee thought it's fit that, you know, when the COVID is over, we could maybe meet in person. So all the activities.
So that means you all ain't having it this year?
Yeah, we having.
Because
we having the
COVID ain't really over yet.
No man, the World Health Organization has declared it. Yeah,
it's over. Okay.
Yeah, it's over.
Okay.
It's no longer. Well, it's no longer a pandemic.
All right. Okay. Right. Let me ask you this. Because when people hear of St. David's Catholic Secondary School, a few names come to mind. What's the name again? The Regis.
Hazelland Regis. Yeah.
And so forth. So people sort of associate St. David's Catholic Secondary School with athletics, the athletic accomplishment. But what else is there for I don't know, so I'm asking. What else can we boast about St. David's Catholic Secondary?
I mean, when you look around, even in Grenada and the diaspora, you got a lot of St. David's Catholic Secondary School past students in high position. We know of the bat coming to me is Dr. Trevor Lane. I mean, he's a well-known, renowned doctor in the States, and I know we had a heart surgeon, I think it was Louis Telesford. We produce a lot persons of stature, so may I say, in St. David's Catholic Secondary School.
So it's well-rounded, not just athletics, but academic as well.
Yeah, well-rounded.
Yes, good.
I mean, for the first time, even this year at St. David's Secondary School, we're still making bars. We had a student who did 18 subjects.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, and how successful was that?
Well, no, we are with CXC results. This one.
Okay. Well, Miss Abraham, welcome, and I presume you're a past student.
Yes, definitely.
A proud past student.
Proud past student.
Okay. All right. So you would be more involved in the celebration aspect. Am I to think that?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm the chairperson for the committee, and we've been planning because, like Eddie said, from the 50th anniversary, we really had planned a lot of activities, and everybody were all excited. Even the people in the diaspora were all excited about coming here to celebrate. But as we know, so the 53rd is just an extension of the 50th anniversary. So we are celebrating this year under the theme, reflecting on our journey, continuing our success, inspiring new directions. And yes, and we really chose that theme because St. David's Catholic Secondary School have done a lot for us. So we need to reflect. We need to look back, to look at where we came from, what had inspired us, what has caused us to be where we are at this point in our lives. And we know there is a lot of success coming from the school, so we continuing that success, right? And then we're looking forward now to new directions. As we come together in the reunion, we the elder ones, you try to mentor and guide and create that synergy between the younger ones and the older ones. So that is the whole, objective of having the reunion. So everybody can come together, and we then can, as we celebrate the successes, but we will have to inspire the younger ones to continue that success.
To keep up the espiritu.
That's right.
But I honestly, part of the theme is, what was the latter part of the theme?
Inspiring new directions.
Okay, because as far as I'm concerned, there's a new direction coming in terms of the physical structure of the school.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes.
The school, we earmarked for a new school that would be built somewhere in Marmount.
Okay, and that's finalized?
Yeah.
Because I know that talk was in the air for quite a while.
I spent 23 years at SDCSS teaching.
And you heard that for a while?
Since I went in. But I think this time...
I do believe this time it will happen.
Why do you believe that this time?
Because the land has been acquired, and the plans has been drawn up.
Okay.
The financiers agreed to finance. So it's just a matter of let's get it rolling.
Okay, well, that's good news. Yeah. That's good news. a new state-of-the-art, learning institution for St. David. That's
exactly. And I would have been privy to seeing the design, or being part of the design from the ground up. Okay. And it's going to be a wonderful.
An envy of the eye.
Yes, an envy of the eye.
That's right. That's St. David's again.
Well, I'm from St. David's already.
Well, you get your honorary citizenship.
Nah, I ain't giving up St. Andrew at all. So, with the celebrations planned, what is it, a one-off activity, or you have a number of activities?
Okay, so we have a number of activities starting from the 6th of August to the 17th of August. So we're starting with the church service, and that would be on August 6th at the St. David's RC Church, the Church of the Immaculate Conception, and that starts at 8 a.m.
That's right by the school?
That's right by the school, okay. The church right by the school. And, we start with the church service because you want to give God thanks for all the achievements, all the accomplishments.
53 years?
53 years.
That's a lot to be thankful for.
That's a lot to be thankful for. So we really use that as an opportunity to really, offer back to God, so much that He has given to us. So we really want to encourage persons to come out to the church service. Yes, we will have fun activities, but we have to acknowledge God in all that we do. And we're starting with God. We need to put God first in everything that we do. So we're starting with the church service so that will be on the 6th of August. We do have a family fun day on the 7th of August, and that will be at the Marmount Big Yard. Okay. That's down by the Marmount playing field. And we start at 10 a.m. So we'll have food, and so people can make contribution towards the food, and we'll have drinks on sale. So you come and you interact, and we're trying to introduce some of the old games that we used to play in our days in school, because the younger ones now don't know. Oh yes, and Chinese Escape, and these type of thing. So we will have that, and like I say, you're kind of integrating the young ones with the older ones. So
that's the 7th, right?
That's the 7th.
That's the Monday.
The Monday.
Emancipation.
Yes,
okay.
Emancipation Day. Yeah, and then we have the Monday night mass. We will be participating in. Whoever wants to participate in Monday night mass, we're teaming up with that band Aqua Band. So persons who are wishing to take part in the Monday night mass, they will contact the committee members, and we make arrangement for them to get their packages. And so we will have SDSS pre-printed on the t-shirts. Okay. So we want persons to, come early enough so we could have those things printed. So we will actually have a section of that Monday night mass band.
That's the National Monday night mass?
Yes, okay. The National Monday night mass.
That was something separate in
No. Right, the National Monday night mass, Carnival Monday. Right, and then we have Sweetness of Summer which is our day cruise.
Sounds exciting.
Oh yes, Sweetness of Summer.
Yeah.
It will be exciting. I mean, we're really looking forward to it because, you know, when you haven't seen people for years and then you come together and then you talk about all the old days, all the good times you had in school, it's really nice.
Yeah.
So Sweetness of Summer will be on Wednesday, the 16th of August, and it's a day cruise, so boarding time is 1 p.m. and we will definitely have a good time.
One boat or both boats?
One.
Well, one boat will accommodate all these people I know that will come.
Well, if yeah, and then maybe you never know, we might still decide to take the two boats.
I don't see the excitement that I know that is out there for St. David's Sec and all the people coming in, because you're baking two cakes with one egg, yeah?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because people are coming for Carnival.
Yes.
So it's going to be a lot of people, so I don't see how, 250, boat could accommodate 250 people maximum.
So that's why people should get the tickets
early.
And tickets available and go to Fete, right?
I think all you should get a bigger boat.
Well, all that is possible.
Could you imagine someone live outside in the diaspora and come predominantly for that, and because they reach in the office late, they tell them, well, if you had come 5 minutes ago, you'd have gotten the last ticket. That is unfair.
But you could get your ticket online.
You could get your ticket online.
Yeah.
Once you go to Fete, the events will be already up there, so you can get your ticket. So get your ticket before you come.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. And we're kind of encouraging people to get the tickets early because, like, with the boat, it's a limited amount, and we cannot go over. And when you look at Go to Fete, tickets already start selling on Go to Fete. So we're encouraging persons to really, go and get the tickets early if you really want to be part of it.
Okay.
Right? And then we have our gala dinner and dance on the 17th of August, and that will be at the Point Celine Hotel, formerly known as Fox Inn. And we really want it to be it will be a nice afternoon where where you come and you sit down, you
sit around the pool.
That's right.
I could envisage it already.
You sit around the pool and you chat with your friends, and you sit on the table and you reminisce on all the good times, the bad times, whatever times in school and all of that.
I could only imagine Teacher Eddie telling an old time Form 1 classmate, "Boy, remember when we thieved the bird in the you know what I'm saying?"
Myself and Anna was the same class, and I could know that I was.
So she knows that's true.
No. She knows that I was the guy who didn't even used to talk.
Okay. Well, up to now, Eddie, you seldom talk. You won't sing,
He's singing now, right? Yeah. So it will be a nice afternoon, and we're really looking forward to persons coming out and being part of the dinner dance. It's gonna, like I say, gonna be nice. We're looking to have 2 live bands play and make it really nice. That would be the fun part of it, where we you go and enjoy yourselves, and
it's spacious.
Yes, it's spacious, and so we're really looking forward to that, and we're encouraging persons. We want the locals to really support the activities. We don't want only the persons in the diaspora to come and dominate everything. We're encouraging persons, the local persons, to come out and support and be a part of, so we could interact with each other, and really bring people together.
Well, I could guarantee you, I mean, I've seen the patriotism of people in St. David as it relates to this SDCSS.
Yeah.
And when they have activities, if you look at your sportsmen and last year, it's like an Olympic. People, St. David people, so I expect the local persons to really participate as much as possible, because, I mean, that in itself, 53 years is really indeed a milestone, not just for the school but for the community.
Yes.
For the parish.
And also I want to say that, as Anna said, come in and meet people that you didn't see for a long time. I mean, it feels good when you see somebody.
It feels good.
You went to school with this person. So even the students who would have left, let's say, we left school in the 80s, right? But the 90s and the 2000s, I mean, that's a long time already. So you could come, meet your friend, bring your friend. I mean, if you're proud of St. David's Secondary School, if you're proud alumni of SDCSS, come out to the activities. I want to see you. Don't see the activities from me. I made my contribution, right? And I've heard the last 23 years as a teacher. But I want to see students.
To reminisce on the old.
That's
come and talk about your days.
Yes, it's a really, it's a really a nice thing.
Come and meet your friends.
You know what, Eddie? I'm gonna throw a grain of gravel in a friend of yours' rice. I hope Scholar is listening. Why? Because McDonald College is supposed to be celebrating 60 years this year, and they started off hot with promoting the activities, and I don't know what's happening now. So you know what? I ain't looking out for McDonald College. I will jam it SDCSS.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah. That's right. Come on board. Welcoming everybody on board.
I will be in that. Because Carla never telling me nothing.
I mean, this will be activities that people will talk about for years after, where they really come and really enjoy themselves, and like I say, meeting persons that you did not see for years. Even simply, you go to a funeral and you might meet somebody that you didn't see for 5-10 years, and it's like, you really feel good to meet that person. You sat in class with that person, you play netball with that person, you running intercall with that person, and it really feels good to talk and to see them that that. So I really want to encourage persons to
reignite some youthful passion.
Oh yeah.
So we out of time, but let me ask you this, and I expect both of you to give me an answer. The celebrations are planned. People are going to turn up. I know that it's going to be a well-attended week of activities, whatever the dates are. Going forward, what are your projections? What are your hopes for SDCSS going forward?
In my view, I want to see the school continue and even excel above what it has achieved so far. So I want us to continue to produce, continue to dominate the athletics track. We know that's our baby.
Yeah.
And the academics.
Coach Dennis, morning.
Step up with the academics there. We want that. And let the school be the family that it is.
Right.
I mean, I when you said I wrote the school song.
You wrote the school song.
Yeah, and I always said how the school song came about. When I went to teach, the principal then keep bugging me that I want a song because the school didn't have a school song.
Right.
And every time she see me, it's just all I hear, I want me song, where me song.
Right.
And I sat there and I pondered for a little bit, and then I came up using the school motto and its vision, and I wrote a song around that, Okay. And every time I hear the school song, I always remember Miss Ferguson, good morning. She now give me for that school song. And today everybody sings it. It's on YouTube, it's on the school page, So
Eddie, Mildred Smith says, say hi to Eddie. Mildred Smith, I don't know.
Mildred, I know Mildred from Mundell. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so as Eddie said, we want to see the school continue, with that direction, and like we say, inspire new directions. Let us look at how we as the alumni can assist the school, to move forward. Like I say, you mentor students, you motivate students, and to keep up the espiritu, keep up that trend, that success, and even become better. Right. So we're really looking forward. That's why I say you have that synergy between the past students, the present students. So the past students can always assist the younger ones, in
and
motivating them.
Also, something that I wish, as an old teacher myself, I would love to see a more stronger unity with PTAs and the schools.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. The school has to be, the family of the school is not just the teachers and the students, but the extended family, the past students, the parents, and everybody. It's our school, so
let's take the opportunity and say good morning to the principal and staff of the school and the students as well.
Exactly. Mr. Jones, I know we're preparing for graduation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's my. Well, should I say my last?
No, I mean the last active one, but you'll always be a part of the
school. You'll always be part of the school, yes.
So you ain't come in and try to play no old man and maybe this retirement thing, And I don't know many of your students. I know Dennis, the coach, the other coach, the gentleman from Lakalo, what's his name again?
Smashy.
Right. And my good friend, teacher Louis. Good morning. Yeah. You think it's easy to take it easy? She likes that. Well, we out of time, so I'd like to wish you all the best, and Eddie, well, Miss Miss
Abraham.
Abraham, you all could furnish us with some information. We'll continue pushing the narrative for you as it relates to the celebrations that you have coming.
Okay, and one folks, you can follow the school page, and there was a 50th anniversary page also, so you can get all the information. There. Flyer, the events, when they're happening, you know.
Yeah.
I think I had an event posted, so you could go to the event and say, I'm attending. So let's get down.
So get an idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, folks, we've got to pull the plug now because, you know, we've got the BBC coming up. So I'd like to say thank you to Miss Anna Abraham and Mr. Edison, teacher Eddie Francis, came to the studio and did not bring a calypso, but that's okay. All right.
Okay, I promise you get your kaiso by
tomorrow?
the end of the week. No, I'm waiting on some guitar and the kaiso.
Okay.
So once the guy comes and put the guitar, you get kaiso.
Folks, thank you for being a part of the program. Those of you in the diaspora, Rachel Cato says good morning to you all. And thank you for being a part. We've got to go. This is it for the conversation for this week. If the good Lord spare our lives, we'll have one together again on Monday. Until then, bye for now. Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.